Western-themed media. You've heard of it. Probably saw a movie or two, maybe you saw a TV show. But what you haven't done, my friend, is play a video game where you're a badass cowboy. Or you did. When I was 10, I remember playing Gun for the first time. I was overwhelmed by the amount of cool shit that was happening. Whether it's facing an entire gang all by yourself or leading a resistance to kill the tyrannical mayor, just the fact that you could jump on a horse, go to Dodge City, kill a dog, it was great. But that is also why I was hesitant to revisit it. Because that sounds like what a 10-year-old considers cool. But surprisingly, it surprised me. It is flawed and far from perfect, but a good game regardless. When you watch a cowboy movie, you want badass and iconic scenes that makes the cool guy look even cooler, and that is where this game really hits.
You kill me and your soul will be as cursed as mine!
Who's this for?
This is for Jenny.
Okay. Is this Hoodoo Brown?
I'm Hoodoo Brown!
Oh, okay. Is he still Hoodoo Brown?
You were.
Okay. One of the biggest flaws is Magruder, the main villain. He's so one-dimensional, and his goal of finding an ancient city of gold because this is his destiny is a pretty lazy motive. The plot has so many holes that's filled by bullshit. The most aggravating one for me being the character Soapy. He's a safe cracker, and you rescue him to help you crack a safe to get an item that was lost. Pretty good reason. You go dressed like a weirdo, kill a bunch of people, opens the safe, get the item. Pretty good reason done. So why is he still here? He doesn't leave, he's not leaving. What's he doing? He gets his fucking fingers blown off because of helping you, and he doesn't complain at all. And the very first thing you do when you see him is sarcasm.
Where are you going?
You want your fingers back, don't you?
He is a key character in the story, but if you're planning to make a character's presence so important for your progression, you should give us a deep enough backstory for him not to feel like means to an end and actually feel like a person who exists and is helping you because he wants to. And I'm complaining about a 19-year-old game, I know. I want to shed some light on some of the villains in this game because they're great. Reverend Josiah Reed. Whenever a game or a movie goes the route of a preacher villain, you know you're up for a strong piece of media. For me, a good villain is a villain who has a good reason for being a villain. And that's why I didn't like Magruder, because he's being portrayed as this tyrannical figure without any reasoning whatsoever. And you shouldn't speak in his presence because he will decapitate you for talking shit. That being said, his presence is what makes Reed a good villain. IMO, LOL. Watch this cutscene real quick.
Surely those renegades will retrieve it.
Those traitors can't be trusted. You lost it. You go get it back. Now, go.
I'm on my way, sir.
Now, kids, what did we learn in this cutscene? Two things. First of all, Reed is terrified of Mr. Magruder here, because if he doesn't do what he says, he has no problem killing him, as portrayed in front of us here. So whenever I see Reed, I tell myself two things. One of them is he's evil. The other is I'm hungry. But he's evil because he thinks he has no choice because of Magruder's tyranny. So I sympathize with him, even though he's a piece of shit. So, good villain. Hoodoo Brown is very different but as good a villain as Reed is. He's deluded by the idea of law and order in his city empire, and he has no problem doing anything necessary to enforce his laws. That's why he's corrupt, and that's why the resistance exists. And he's a narcissist. A smooth-talking narcissist, which makes him even better. As a villain, of course, not as a human being. A very cool thing about Gun is that some of the characters are based on real people. You got Clay Allison leading the resistance in the game who actually existed and fought for the Confederacy in the Civil War. Hoodoo Brown, we just talked about, was the leader of the Dodge City gang in New Mexico in 1880. And Dodge City is in the game as well, which is also cool. One thing I absolutely adore about this game is the loner feeling it gives you. From the very beginning when you're going through the forest hunting, entering Dodge City, walking through Empire, playing poker in the Alhambra saloon, or just roaming through the Badlands, there's always that lone wolf feeling, and I like it very much. The names of some of the characters are so fucking funny. They got my man Fights at Dawn. And many wounds. Playing Gun now is like watching an old Western movie. You're not really looking for the most realistic acting performances, and also you're not looking for the most fleshed out combat system, or the biggest map, or the best graphics. You're just having plain old fun, with some goofiness and a solid story. Oh, fucking hell, man. You're a cowboy. I give it 105 out of 130. Good